Good morning. I am sitting here in a very quiet house, so I decided to come on here live and tell you my grateful for today because nobody's here, so why not? And I missed yesterday, so I'm procrastinating all things today. I'm tired and I'm just tired. So I'm supposed to be going to run and I'm not right this minute. So I'm going to talk to y'all instead first and then I'll go run. And it's hot as you know what outside too. So anyway, yesterday I didn't jump on here because it was just a long day. I don't know why. It was just a long day. This first couple weeks of school are kicking our rear end in every single way. And so the last 2 days have been long days. Kenzie has a cold and thank you, school. And a lot of homework, and we started volleyball again, and all that fun stuff. So what I'm grateful for today and yesterday is being a mother. I'm combining the 2 days. I was going to talk about something different today, but I just decided because yesterday was rough and today was better, I'm just thankful to be a mother. So if you didn't see my stories yesterday, Kendall's just kind of Kendall. She's forgotten her homework twice this week, but I don't know. She lives in La La Land a lot. Hey, you too, Steph. And, so, Kendall's like, I'm going to be super organized for 5th grade. And I'm like, awesome, let's do it, because she's not super organized. I can see myself right here. Hold on. That's weird. And so, she's forgotten her homework twice this week, and Monday she was supposed to bring her homework home and didn't, and so she was like, well, I don't really have to, and so I text the teacher, and she was like, yes, they do every day, but they'll get into it, blah, blah, blah. So she had to read for 30 minutes or whatever, and so I said, you're going to read and write a summary about it, and she was like, the summary is optional. I said, not for you, it's not, it's mandatory. And so she took her summary in on yesterday, and she was the only kid who did it. And the teacher was like, oh, who else did it? And nobody raised their hand. And Kendall, of course, turned hers in. And I said, did you tell the teacher it's just because it wasn't optional for you? And she's like, no, I just turned it in and left it alone. So yesterday she did bring her math homework home. And she's not the greatest in math. I'm not either, though. So she gets it straight from me. I can't complain. And so her sister was helping her do flashcards yesterday, which is really sweet because her sister was in a foul mood. So on to her sister. She's had a crap ton of homework since she started school, and she chose to take extra classes for 8th grade. So she's taking an online class that's outside of school. It's called a 0 period. So she's taking all of her regular classes, and they're all considered 9th grade classes, except for her history, because 8th graders have to take a certain history. So all of her classes, including her activities, are 9th grade classes, or she gets 9th grade credit for them. So, and most schools do that these days. So it's not anything different. But then she also chose to take her PE online outside of school so that she can have it done for 9th grade too. And then she's finishing up Spanish 2 online. She started it this summer and she's finishing that. So she is just like overloaded, and she's the kid that if she sees an assignment on there, she will go ahead and get it done. And she's trying to finish Spanish in 9 weeks instead of 18 weeks. Whatever. Overachiever a lot. And so, and then she got a cold like the first week of school. So the last 2 nights, well, okay, first of all, let me back up to the Jean situation 2 nights ago. And remember, I'm grateful today to be a mother. But she, at 11:30 at night, when she got done with her homework and all the other stuff, and the rule in the house is you cannot get on your phones, you cannot get on social media or anything until your homework is done, your laundry is hung up, anything, snack is eaten, all that stuff. Like, that is recreational. You need to do the stuff that needs to be done, because they'll sit on YouTube for hours and then go, oh, I have homework. And I'm like, not this year, sisters. So they have to do everything first. So she had done all her homework, and it took her a long, long time the night before last. So what is this, Tuesday night. And at 11:30 at night, she comes walking down the stairs, and she's like, I don't have any jeans clean. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. And she goes, will you wash them? And I was like, nope, I'm not washing jeans at 11:30 at night. I'm getting ready to go to bed because I have to get up to get you up in the morning. And she's like, well, I wore the jeans yesterday dirty. And I was like, not my problem. I guess you should have told me you needed jeans cleaned. Well, they were in the laundry room. And I was like, no, they're not, because I did laundry. They were still in her hamper in her closet. So long story short, that took forever to figure out what she was going to actually wear. She found her some jeans. She found her something that she wants to wear the next morning, and it looked adorable. But those jeans are scratchy. Those jeans are white. She's the pickiest kid about her clothes sometimes. And then sometimes she comes downstairs that took her 30 minutes in a t-shirt and jeans. And I'm like, it took you that long to come up with that? So anyway, so she was like, will you wash my jeans? I said, no. And I said, let me tell you, you are 13 years old. If you need clean jeans and I don't have time to do it, then you say, hey, mommy, can you teach me how to wash jeans? Novel idea. And so anyway, she got dressed yesterday. She woke up in a decent mood. I was impressed because she went to bed so late, like it was after midnight. Still has a cold though. Woke up yesterday. Good mood, whatever. Get her dropped off at school. She gets in the car. She had made not a great grade on her Spanish, and luckily he was going to let her retake it because it was, I don't know why. Anyway. And then she had like a pre-test. They call it a formative, but it was a pre-test for math, and she didn't do so well in that. She never, ever, ever, and this is not a braggy statement. This is just like, reality is going to hit her hard a little bit. But she's never had below an 80 on anything. And so she got a 60 on something yesterday. And like I said, the formative is to see where you are. So she was kind of freaking out about that. She was in a really bad mood. She gets really hangry. She has a cold, like just devil child. She wasn't ugly about it. She was just very matter of fact and very, So anyway, then she comes up with everybody in volleyball is better than her. Blah, 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 blah. And so I'm like, I give up. I'm not discussing this with you. I walk away, and of course, she's the kid that's like, why not? Why not? Why not? Well, whatever. So finally last night, she decided she was going to go to volleyball practice. And this is like an extended practice. It's not like for a team that she's on. It's just she's going to start that in November. Long story. In 8th grade, when you go to a school that you don't know what high school you're going to, you kind of have to play recreationally before you can play, just like being in elementary school and they don't have a team. Her school does not have a team for volleyball. And so because she doesn't know where she's going to high school yet, she did not try out for that high school. So anyway, she's just kind of doing like this interim league thing. Anyway, but because she is 13 years old and she's a girl, she thinks every other child is looking at her going, she's so, she's not good. She's this, she's that. And I said, let me just tell you something about girls. Girls are in their own head. Just like you're in your own head, they're in their own head. They don't care what you're doing or wearing or whatever. They're not going to remember because they're thinking, well, I wonder if I look cute today. I wonder if, so-and-so's watching me, blah, blah, blah. She goes, how do you know that, mommy? I said, I'm a girl. And I'm a whole lot older than you. I've been around a lot of girls my whole life. So anyway, all that to say, she goes to volleyball. They compliment her. She does great, whatever. So she gets home. Everything's good. She's in a great mood. And then, oh, good Lord, no. 8th grade is good. And then 5th grade, she's fine. She just, lives in her own little world, thank God, right now. And really, Kenzie's, I think, is just that she feels bad. My mom keeps saying hormonal, and it could be a touch of hormones, but she's not quite there yet, if you know what I mean. And so it could be but it's not whiny, it's not crying, and it's not even grumpy. It's just, I don't know. She doesn't, so the problem is she's never really had to try very hard at anything initially. I know that sounds, again, braggy, and I don't mean it that way, but like, she started gymnastics so early that it just was what she did. Like, she doesn't remember having to try hard until she got older and her body changed and then she had to try. But by then she was kind of done with gymnastics anyway, so it wasn't, don't get me wrong, learning to read was the hardest thing ever in our life that we had to teach them. They could tie their shoe faster than they could read. And tying your shoe, that stinks too. But I think it's because she doesn't remember having to try, if that makes sense. School comes very easy for her, knock on wood, knock on every piece of wood that I have. She has her dad's brain. I take no credit for that. She gets her common sense from me. But she, stepping outside of her comfort zone is very foreign to her, and we make her do it all the time because that's just life. You just have to. And so Making her go to these volleyball practices are just like way out of her ordering her dang food is out of her comfort zone. I mean, come on. So, and I make her sound like the devil. She really is a very good kid. She's a very pleasant kid. But these last couple of days, I think it being first week of school, well, first full week of school, having a cold. She couldn't see. We had to get her glasses fixed because we had no idea her left eye had gotten drastically worse than the right eye. I mean, just, it just was like everything got thrown at her all at once. And I cut my finger, so I keep holding this one little finger up. And so, anyway, she woke up I made her go to bed early last night. She was making her little to-do list before she went to bed, which was very helpful. And then I lost my train of thought. I saw a message, squirrel. And so she was very pleasant this morning, in such a great mood. She felt so much better. We diffused all the oils in her room, rubbed them all over her feet. Like, yes, I am that mom. But she feels better today. So all of that to say, I am grateful to be their mother. One, because they each push me and pull me in different directions, and they force me to be a better person, if that makes sense. So I have said a million times, I'm not oversensitive. I'm not a weepy mom. I'm not a super sentimental mom. I mean, I have a heart. I love my kids dearly, but I'm not like, oh, it's the first day of school, I'm going to cry. I'm just like, have a good day. Love you. See you later. And so, they each make me be better in those areas. Mackenzie is very, very particular and headstrong and a lot like me. And so I have to be very patient with her and realize that yelling at her, because I'm really not a yeller, is not going to get me anywhere with her. All it does is cause both of us to be frustrated. So I've realized I have to talk to her and communicate well with her, because she's smart and she gets it. So you can talk to her like an adult, but then when she doesn't feel good, she turns into a 13-year-old. And I have to remember. It forces me to remember that she's still a kid. And then I have my 10-year-old who would be a YouTube star, hilarious. And she is super sensitive and super tender and such a good, caring heart. And so it forces me to not get frustrated with her, because sometimes she wants to cry and I don't understand it. Or sometimes she gets her feelings hurt when I tell her no and I don't get it. And so they have forced me to be more well-rounded when it comes to being a person to other people, and understand other people's feelings, that just because they're not like mine doesn't mean that they're not valid. And I remember the day I found out I was pregnant, because all I've ever wanted to be was a mom and a wife. That's it. There was a minute in my life I wanted to be a corporate person. And then the second I had kids, I was like, peace out, corporate life. I want to be a mom. And I want to be a really darn good mom. And I'm going to leave out the bad words, because I would say kick a mom. And so I work really hard to be a good mom to them, just like everybody else I know. I have some amazing moms that I know and are in my life and have taught me, and I learned from every single day. And so I remember when I found out I was pregnant with both of them, with Mackenzie first, obviously, I remember crying thinking, I get to be a mom. Like, what a great blessing to be a mom. And I don't use the word blessing very often. And then Kendall rolls along unexpectedly, not unexpectedly. She was planned, but very quickly. Like, we decided we were going to have a baby, and all of a sudden I'm pregnant. I mean, just ridiculous. And, which I think is just the greatest gift also, because that doesn't happen for everybody. But I remember being so very thankful that I was allowed to have this opportunity, and that I got to do this with their dad. Like, I got to be a parent with their dad. So I am super grateful to be their mom. I'm super grateful to have them. Even though some days test me more than others, some mornings test me more than others, and some nights are very, very long. They bring so much joy to our life, and so much happiness, and so much goodness, that the rough days outweigh. Sorry, let me flip that around. The good days outweigh the rough days. I was going to say that rough days outweigh the good days. That's a bad thing. But the days that are tough and the days that are hard and they're long, I have to remember they're kids. They're still kids. And that's why God gave them to us and us to them, is for us to teach each other and learn and grow and, continue to stretch ourselves. So That was a really long explanation of why I'm grateful to be a mom, but I am. I'm grateful for motherhood. I'm grateful for all the moms that have taught me along the way. I still learn. Like this weekend, we were at friends' houses, and I look to my friends who have older children as guidance and things that they did and things that they've gone through that we will go through. Oh, my mailman's here. I'm going to pretend like I'm not here. Be really quiet because he wants me to answer the door. He's super sweet, but I don't want to go to the door because then I have to leave y'all. So he'll just sit it on the porch. He thinks I'm working out usually if I don't answer. Hopefully I don't have to sign for anything. Oh, there he is. Lean over. Hold on. Okay. You can see in my front door, it's just a big glass door, and I didn't want him to see me sitting here and be like, well, how rude is that? Anyway, so that's what I'm grateful for to yesterday and today, and just abundance, like abundant life. And that means something different to everybody. Today's a big day for my husband and his company partnership. It's a company, but it's only him and his partner and another guy. And it's a big day. They have a big meeting. And so we are all fingers and toes crossed, sending all the good prayers and good vibes. And so I am just grateful for, some days about grateful are big and some days are little. So I'm kind of grateful for Fido's World today because my dogs are at daycare and I get to sit here and ramble on to y'all and nobody's here. I don't have to run in and out with dogs to go potty. I don't have to be quiet because my husband's working really hard in there, and my kids aren't here, so they don't stand here and watch me talk to y'all, which is really weird. Or in the car when Kendall, is commentating over here. So it's funny because, being grateful is something different. Yeah, Judy, I don't even have an explanation for that. But, I just don't want to be mean to my mailman. But anyway, I'm just grateful all the time. I'm grateful that y'all sit and listen to me ramble on because it makes me not just sit and talk to myself. But anyway, I'm going to go get some work done while nobody's here and see what my mailman left us. Probably something for John. And I'll chat with y'all tomorrow. Probably during carpool, but it'll be tomorrow. And it's Friday! Woohoo! All right, see y'all later.